All right, literally minutes ago, we got Donald Trump's reaction to today's first round of trade talks with China. Trump just posted that it was, quote, a very good meeting and a total reset negotiated in a friendly but constructive manner. The meeting comes as the very first Chinese goods that were hit with Trump's 145% tariffs started arriving at U.S. ports yesterday. Here are just some of the companies with products on those ships: Amazon, Home Depot, IKEA, Ralph Lauren, and Tractor Supply. In other words, a lot of places where a lot of people shop. Meanwhile, though, Seattle was still seeing a slump at the shipping docks this week. Seattle Port Commissioner Ryan Culkin said on Thursday, we currently have no container ships. And Port of Seattle Commissioner Ryan Culkin joins me now. Commissioner, it's great to have you with us. Thank you so much for joining us. First of all, have any ships started arriving, or is it still pretty empty? What's your assessment of the situation right now?
We had a couple of ships come in yesterday, unload, and then depart. And so once again, as of today, we have 0 ships at berths right now at the Port of Seattle. Our sister port in Tacoma currently has 1 ship, as well as a ro-ro carrier. That's a car carrier.
Trump had this to say on Thursday when asked about the slowdown. Take a listen.
Because business has slowed down, as you mentioned, we're seeing as a result, the ports here in the U.S., the traffic has really slowed, and now thousands of dock workers and truck drivers are worried about their jobs.
Yeah, no, that means we lose less money. You know, when I see that, that means we lose less money.
So, Commissioner, what is your response to that analysis of the economic situation? What do you think the knock-on effects of the slowdown in port traffic will be?
Well, I think the slowdown in port traffic is going to have real impacts for working families around the country, not only just at the ports where we see fewer longshore workers coming in, fewer truck drivers coming to pick up loads, fewer trains coming in to pick up containers and take them into inland areas like Chicago and Des Moines. It's going to have real impacts. And unfortunately, the longer the dispute carries on, the longer the disruption for American consumers and American workers will be.
And, you know, just the other day, the CEO of Vizion, which tracks trade, told CNBC this: we haven't seen anything like this since the disruptions of the summer of 2020. That means goods expected to arrive the next 6 to 8 weeks simply won't. With tariffs driving costs higher, small businesses are pausing orders and so on. I think for a lot of Americans, it's quite scary to hear any kind of comparison to the pandemic, to 2020. Would you say that that's accurate in terms of the sort of the risk, the emergency urgency here?
I do think so. Now, I do want to say that a lot of American businesses were very smart in anticipating a tariff disruption. And so they did a great job of building up inventory in anticipation of potential Trump tariffs. But that's only going to tide us over so long. And we know that factories have shuttered in China. We know that year over year, exports from China went down in April by 20%. And keep in mind that for most of April, they were still able to get goods on ships and to us, so that if something had left by the time these tariffs were implemented and were on a ship on the way to the United States, they would still land tariff-free. Now we're fully into a period where if it's leaving China now, it's going to be hit with that 145% tariff. So I'm hoping that these talks in Switzerland this week will result in fruitful negotiations, that we can get commerce moving again. Because sincerely, there is no greater beneficiary of an open and liberal marketplace on the world stage than the United States. It has led to tremendous prosperity for us, both our businesses and farmers who export, but also American consumers who benefit from the opportunity to buy goods that are produced elsewhere at cheaper rates.
What goods would normally be coming over around now? Is it Christmas products? What would normally be coming in that's not arriving?
Well, you can imagine that the supply chain can take months, 3 to 6 months, for a wholesaler or retailer to place an order, have it manufactured, put on a ship, brought over, and then distributed to their warehouses around the country. So, if you work back from that, right now, the inventories are being built up for back to school sales for the fall. And in not too distant future, they're going to start planning for the Christmas season. So if they don't have the certainty of a tariff rate that's locked in, that is, I mean, quite honestly, at 145%, we're not going to be buying anything from China. But if this dispute doesn't end soon, it will make it very difficult for retailers like the ones you mentioned at the top of the segment to do business planning around, that kind of holiday rush.
Commissioner, we're almost out of time, but I wanted just to ask you really quickly, how irreversible is this? I mean, there's a concern that once these products don't arrive to the U.S., if China finds a new market and starts opening new markets for these products, it becomes harder for us here in the U.S. to access those goods. Do you think that is a long-term concern, or do you believe that this is something that is irreversible if these talks in Switzerland succeed?
Well, my concern right now is the immediate impacts. But secondarily, I'm afraid that if we don't have inventory on store shelves, that retailers are going to have to start thinking about layoffs and other actions to preserve cash as businesses. And if they do that, that will contribute to a cycle that could lead to recession. And so if we don't resolve this quickly, we might see ourselves tip into recession, which will have even greater implications than just the trade war.
Commissioner Ryan Calkins, thank you so much for joining us tonight.